Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to Atheist Church. First, I have a few channel announcements. First off, Godless Engineer is going to be on this channel on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My other announcement is I now have memberships. You get really cool badges, plus you get really cool emojis, and I already have a member, so I'm going to do this, and your name will be added to that banner, and there will be a really cool members corner. Plan on doing a lot of cool stuff there, so I know that's a lot of cools. But anyway, getting back, hey Marianne. So keep those two announcements in mind. Okay, now for Atheist Church. And today I'm going to do legalism. And it really depends on what sect of Christianity you're in as to how legalistic they are. Although I will tell you, every single sect of Christianity has legalism. Don't let them fool you, okay? They have legalism. Now, I grew up in the Independent Fundamentalist Baptist Church. And they were very, very legalistic. And when I'm talking about legalistic, I'm not talking about even in terms of the Bible, okay? I'm talking about silly shit like women can't wear pants. Women must have long hair because Paul says a woman's hair is her glory. You know, unlike holiness, they believe that women can cut their hair, but women have to have it at least shoulder length. You can't have it short. Some of the other silly shit they have there is a man's sideburns cannot come past the middle of his ear. A man's hair cannot touch his collar. Males and females must swim separately. They cannot swim together. So just a bunch of bullshit that you don't ever read in the Bible. And about the men's hair being short, if you read the Bible, it doesn't make any sense, because in the Bible there were a lot of men who had long hair. That's just how it was back then, I don't know whether it was just the Nazarites. I know, right, Nevermore? I don't know whether it was just the Nazarites that had long hair, but a lot of men had long hair back then, And then you've got women had to wear culottes and not shorts. Couldn't wear shorts. You had to wear culottes. A woman's dress, depending on which independent fundamentalist Baptist church you were in, had to come at least 6 inches from the bottom of the knee or 6 inches from the top of the knee. I mean, we're talking about really crazy shit, okay? Now, Marianne can probably tell you much more about the legalism of the JWs, but the JWs have a lot of legalism too. Now, in way of the Jesus movement, before we get to Christianity, Jesus actually told his disciples, hey, you need to follow the law of Moses, you know, because he was an apocalyptic preacher. So he wasn't trying to start a new movement, okay? He was just trying to get the Jews ready for the apocalypse. So he wasn't even trying to start a new movement of Christianity. So then you have, sorry, excuse me a minute. My mouth is dry. Okay. So then in the Catholic Church, and again, I don't know much about the Catholic Church, but I do know a little bit about it. You know, you go to the priest and ask him to absolve you of your sins. And they say that, you know, your confession is to God. And I really don't understand that part of it. If your confession is to God, why do you need an intermediary? Doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. And then, you know, depending on your sin, the priest is going to give you some Hail Marys to do, or, you know, some other stuff to do. And this is where the Rosary comes in. Because part of what the Rosary is it's to keep track of your Hail Marys, or, you know, whatever else the priest has told you that you need to do. So, you know, if the priest has told you to do, I don't know, 10 Hail Marys, you know, that's basically what the Rosary is for. You finger a bead and you're like, okay, this bead is 1. And then every Hail Mary you do, you finger another bead, and supposedly that's the way you keep up with your Hail Marys. So, all right. So then, you know, you've got legalism in Catholicism too. Like I said, you've got legalism everywhere in Christianity, you know. If you'll remember, I did a thing on, do Christians need to follow the law of Moses? According to Jesus, yes, you do. So, all right. So the problem with this legalism is not the law of Moses, okay? And this legalism isn't even New Testament crap, like love your neighbor as yourself, you know, which actually is, I hate to agree with Christianity, but it is a good it is a good command, you know. But Christianity isn't the only one that has love your neighbor as yourself. Pretty much all religions have that. And so anyway, but yeah, I mean, instead of having like the legalism of Jesus, you know, following the law of Moses, and you know, giving to the poor. Now remember, Jesus was an apocalyptic preacher, so he thought the end was coming soon, which is why he was saying shit like, you know, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. He was an apocalyptic preacher. He thought the end was imminent. Sounds a lot like JW's. Anyway, getting back on track. He thought that the end was imminent. So why shouldn't you give all your riches to feed the poor and clothe the naked and, you know, this and that and the other? Because time was so short. You know, but you don't see, there are Christian churches now that do have things like soup kitchens, and the like. There are those, you know. I am technically still a Mormon, and I can tell you firsthand, the Mormons have what's called a bishop's warehouse, where if you don't have enough food, you call your bishop and you say, hey, I don't have enough food for the month. And the bishop will call your visiting teacher. For me, because I'm a woman, I have both a home teacher and a visiting teacher. So a home teacher is a man, and the family unit, each family unit within the congregation has a home teacher. So, you know, if you're a family unit, you're going to have a home teacher within the ward. Women have a visiting teacher, which is another woman. And your bishop, well, this is true, Nevermore. And the bishop will call your visiting teacher to get a list of, you know, like food that you need. And somebody will go to the bishop's warehouse and get the food and then bring it to you. So the Mormon Church does do that. And kudos to them, you know, because that's what Jesus taught. Feed the poor, you know. I don't agree with all of the Mormon Church's teachings. I just want to tell you that. I don't go anymore, although I'm still technically a Mormon. I don't go anymore. So, you know, then there are other things like there are like I had a hard time paying my power bill one month, and so I went to the local Catholic Charities organization, and, they ended up paying my power bill for that month. So, hey, dog without eyes, and welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. So, if you're really going to do legalism, do the bullshit that's in the Bible, like the feeding of the poor and, clothing the naked and, taking care of the sick. That kind of quote unquote legalism. Okay? Don't go putting all this legalism bullshit that isn't in the Bible, like a man can't have his hair touching the collar of his shirt, okay? That just doesn't make any sense, all right? So anyway, I'm sorry. Went off on a tangent there. And so then you've got other kinds of legalism, like I wouldn't call this legalism, but in Jehovah's Witnesses circles, okay. Lloyd Evans said, you can ask questions in the Jehovah's Witness religion, but what you cannot do is question the answers to those questions. So, basically, ask all the questions you want, and the elders are going to answer those questions, and you can't question what the elders say, basically. So, in my mind, that is a type of legalism. Yeah, Nevermore. Which is what, well, Jesus wasn't all about showing compassion and kindness, but, hell, he was a guy, if he ever lived. I tend to believe he was a conglomerate. So, we're talking about people here, and as long as you got more good in you than bad, hell, I'll give it to you. I know, right, Marianne? So anyway, Dog Without Eyes. I'm actually working on an Origins of Satan episode right now. You might want to go back to the very first Origins of Satan and get caught up, because it's a series. But basically, I'm working on an Origins of Satan video right now that deals with the original Christians and, what they thought and blah, 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 blah. This would be the Christians between the 2nd century and when the Catholic Church officially took over Christendom. So anyway, so be on the lookout for that. And so then you've got things like, my bad advice in the Bible series, okay? You've got stuff like, don't worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to drink. That's bullshit. You absolutely should worry about what you're going to eat and what you're going to drink and what you're going to put on, because nobody else is going to worry about it for you. But again, like I said, he was an apocalyptic preacher. He thought the end of the world was imminent. So you have to think about what he said in the frame of mind that he said it. If he was real, which, like I said, I think he was a conglomerate of people, because Josephus, who lived contemporary to when Jesus was supposed to live, okay, doesn't say, well, actually, he lived a little bit after, but he was the son of people who lived contemporary to Jesus. And so he would have known, because he was the governor of Galilee at this time, okay? He would have known if there was a Christian movement or a Jesus movement at that time in Galilee. And Josephus never says anything about a Jesus movement, never says anything about a Christian movement. He does say stuff about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and, the Essenes. And he does mention a very new movement, one that was started by a Judas. And depending upon who you read, these were two different Judases that he kind of put into one Judas. But I would tend to believe that since he was the governor of Galilee, that he would be talking about Judas of Galilee. There was another Judas from another part of Israel. So I'm assuming he's talking of Judas of Galilee when he is talking about Judas, the movement of Judas. So so then you have that, so there's a lot of things going on at this time, and but one of the things that is not going on is Jesus is not setting people free from the law of Moses. Got to keep that straight. Because somebody came up and asked him. He said, "Hey, Rabbi, are we supposed to follow the law of Moses?" And Jesus said, "Not one jot or tittle is going to pass away from the law till all be fulfilled." Well, what does he mean by all be fulfilling? Well, if you listen to the majority of Protestants, I don't know about Catholics and Orthodox, but if you listen to the majority of the Protestants, they're going to tell you that all being fulfilled is an allusion to Jesus' death. So they had to keep the law of Moses till after Jesus' death. But I can't stand these people. They don't even read their own book. Okay? But if you read Jesus, And if you read him in context, in their own damn book, okay, you clearly see that he is talking about the end of the world. Because, like I've said, like 10 times already in this live stream, he was an apocalyptic preacher. Obviously, he was talking about the end of the world because he thought it was going to be imminent. Why wouldn't he be talking about the end of the world? So that's what he's talking about. He's talking about you have to keep the law of Moses until the end of the world comes. He's not talking about his death because he wasn't planning on dying. Dog without eyes, you might like my Saturday live streams. I don't have a playlist on that, but it starts with Genesis 1, and then it just goes on from there. Yeah, Nevermore. Like, I don't know who's in the United States and who isn't. I think Marianne is in the United States. But, yeah. The military, according to Trumpistas, the military was supposed to dethrone President Biden and reinstate Trump on March 4th. Didn't happen. What are they going to do now? What are they going to do now? Oh, shit. Our other prediction didn't happen. What are we going to do now? Kind of like the JWs, you know? Well, our 1925 prediction didn't come true. Our 1914 prediction didn't come true. Our 1975 prediction didn't come true. Our before the year 2000 prediction didn't come true. What are we going to do? You know? And it's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. The things these people think. And when you're in a cult like the Independent Fundamentalist Baptist Church, you think other people's beliefs are bizarre, but you don't really get how bizarre your own beliefs are until you get out of that kind of mindset, you know? And even Christianity as a whole, their beliefs are bizarre. You know? I mean, the Jews are looking like at the Christians like, what the hell is going on with this religion? Hey, Jeannie. So, anyway, I think I've gone on. Sorry. I think I've gone on and on and on about the legalism for enough today. And so anyway, links are in the description. Remember, I now offer memberships. You get really cool badges, really cool emojis, members only corner. My other links are in the description. If you want to join the membership club, there is a join link right below, right by the I don't know, right by. My screen's a lot different than your screen. But so if you can, if you cannot afford it, do not do it. But if you can, I would really appreciate you throwing me $2.99 a month. That is my only tier right now. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Don't remember, Godless Engineer will be on this channel Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys later. Bye.